Hello friends, I am Patil from the class 7. Today I am going to teach you the topic cell. So let's start. What can we learn from this today's lecture? First is what is cell. Second is classification of the cell and its three types, that is classification of the cell in numbers, shapes and the types. And the others like prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells and the types of the eukaryotic cells. And plant cells, about the animal cells and the other cells organelles like the nucleus, nucleids and the endoplasmic reticulum and etc. What is cell? Cell is a structure and the fundamental part of the body. You know that all the living things in the world are made up of the cell. In humans, the group of cells from the tissues, it from the organs, and the organs it from organary system. With the combination of the organary system, muscles and the bones, it form the whole body. So let's move toward the classification of the cell. Classification of the cell can be in the three types. First is number of the cells, second is the shape of the cells, and third is the types of the cell. Classification of the cell in the numbers of the cell. First is unicellular organisms and second is the multicellular organisms. Organism made from one body is called the one-celled or unicellular, like the amoeba. Here the amoeba is the one-celled organism and the second is the paramecium. It is also a one-shaped organism. In multicellular, the organism made by more than one called multicelled or the multicellular organisms, like here is the tiger. It is made from the multicellular cells. Classification of the cells on the shape of the cells. There are mainly two types of the classification of the cells, that is irregular and the oval. But here is the also three types. There is oblong, elongated and the thread-like. First, irregular. In the amoeba, it has the property to change its shapes. So it is also called the irregular celled organisms. In the oval shape, like the centrosomes has this oval property. From it has the oval shape property. In the oblong, like the paramecium, it is made from the oblong shaped. And there is a elongated. In the muscle cells, they are shaped of the elongated cells. It thread-like. In the human's brain, nerve cell is present. The figure of the nerve cell is like, here is the thread of the nerve cells like this. Let's move towards the types of the cells. There are mainly the two types of the cell. First is prokaryotic cell and second is the eukaryotic cells. Here is the diagram of the eukaryotic cells and here is a diagram of prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells consist of the mainly two types. First is nucleus and second is nucleoid. First, in the prokaryotic cell, it is a single cell organism. There is no nuclear membrane present, but the genetic material is present in this prokaryotic cell. It is a nucleid or cytoplasm. Here is the DNA present. It is the nucleide present in the prokaryotic cell, and here is the nucleus present in the mesosomes. DNA is the full form of the DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Let's move toward the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell consists of many cells organelles like the nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi bodies and others. First and second is the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell has the nucleus enclosed with the nuclear membrane. Here it is the nucleus present here, and here is the nuclear membrane present in here. In the nucleus there are meant to the nuclear membrane from the protection for the nucleids. It protects the nucleus from the bacteria and also helps to float the nucleus in it. There are mainly two types the eukaryotic cell. First is plant cells and the second is animal cell. Plant cell. Here the plant cell also consists of the nucleus, nucleoid, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes and the cell wall. The cell wall is not present in the animal cell, but the cell membrane is present in the animal cell. Here is the diagram of the plant cell. Here is the ribosome present, here is the Golgi apparatus, here is the nucleus and here is nucleus. There are so many other organelles like the chloroplast, mitochondria, cytoplasm. Animal cells. Animal cells also consist of various organelles like the Golgi bodies, ribosomes, cell wall, and but here is not a cell wall present, here is the cell membrane is present. Here is the diagram of the animal cell. Here is the nucleus of the animal cell. The difference between the plant cells and animal cell is the plant cells is quite smaller than the animal cell, and the other difference is that the cell wall is not present in the animal cell. Cell organelle. The first main is the nucleus. Here is the nucleus present in the nucleoplasm. Nucleus controls all the cell, and from its function is to control the cell. Around the nucleus, it is the nucleoplasm is present. It helps to float the nucleus to float in it. And second is the nucleus. But here is the mistake. The function of the nucleus and the nucleus is same, but the main function of the nucleus is to transfer the RNA that's come from the ribosomes. Second is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is also called the networks of tubes because here are many tubes like structure present in it. With the presence of the ribosomes, it can be classified into rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The function of the rough endoplasmic reticulum is to synthesize the proteins, and the function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is to synthesize the fat. Here is the ribosomes. The function of the ribosomes is to read the proteins and that messages are come from the RNA, and and the function is to convert the protein into amino acids. Amino acid is also part of the acid. Here is the ribosomes present, like here is a dot, that is the ribosomes. Golgi bodies. The function of the Golgi bodies is to secrete the enzymes and the hormones that are prepared by the lumen. The function of the Golgi bodies is to reproduce the cells. The Golgi bodies is also known as the Golgi apparatus. Lysosomes. Lysosomes is not present in the plant cells, but it is present in the animal cells. The lysosomes are also called as the suicidal bags, because lysosomes contains various digestive enzymes that if the cells are going on the cell, if we want to destroy the cell, it can destroy the cells and store in its bag. Cell wall. Cell wall is only present in the plant cell. It is the here is the cell wall, and here is the cell membrane. The cell wall is the additional protector over the cell membrane. It also protects the cell membrane from the bacteria and other fungal infections. Cell membrane. The function of the cell membrane is the cell membrane also known as the plasma membrane, because it is like the semi-solid. It protects the cell from the from outside environment. Here is the proteins present in the cell membrane, and these blue bulgy like spots are of carbohydrates. Plastids. There are three types of the plastids, but the plastid is present in the plants, algae and others eukaryotic organisms. Plastids are also responsible for the storing food that are prepared by cell. There are three types of the plastid, but here is the sub types of the plastid is dendrotoplast. The chloroplast, the function of the chloroplast is to store the green pigment made by the cell, and here is in the chromoplast the food color is present but except the green color. In leucoplast there is the white color present. Here is the figure of the chloroplast. Here is the figure of the chromoplast, and here is the figure of the leucoplast. You see that here is the white color present. Here is there is various color present but except green. Here is only green color present. Vacuole. The function of the vacuole is to store the various food. Vacuole is also known as the empty space. There are various types of vacuoles like plastids. Plastid is also type of the vacuoles because it also stores the food. It also can store the food or other nutrients required to the cell to survive. For this, thank you.